Welcome to Survive to Thrive Daily with Dr. Todd. I am Dr. Todd Wendell, husband, father, chiropractor, entrepreneur, and health architect, here to bring you daily tips and tricks to improve your life and literally help you move from just surviving to thriving. Let's get started. Welcome back to another edition of Survive or Thrive. Today we are going to specifically talk about the obstacle. What is it that you think about when you think about an obstacle? Is it something that keeps you away from something else? Or is it something that you want to climb over and just get over? You see it as a project. You know, either of those mindsets is fine, but we're going to talk about obstacles in your life today. Mainly because those obstacles will keep you from getting to a new reality. You see, what I've discovered in my life and with influence from others are that obstacles are these things that keep us away from. Usually, they're not something that we all want to climb over. There are things that keep us in the ruts of today. They keep us in where we are at. And the challenge that exists is, in order to break through an obstacle or get to another side, if you want change. And so the premise is, I want to make a change. I want to make a change in some facet of your life. And here's the concept. Wherever that may be, it's okay. Wherever that may be, that's okay. So is it in your body you want to make a change? That's fine. If it's in your connections with God or your spirituality, that's okay. If it's in a relationship that you want to make a change, that's okay. It's in your bank account, that's okay. To want more money, to be able to expand, to be able to have that opportunity to do more things because money creates those opportunities. Whatever it is for you, literally wherever it is for you, there are obstacles in your way that are keeping you from going to where you want to go. And here's the concept. The obstacles will constantly remain in the way until you become real with where you are at today. You see, your reality of today is literally your pathway to be able to get over the obstacles to get to where you want to go tomorrow. See, if you cannot actually own the reality of where you're at today, then there's no way that you can realistically launch a plan for where you're going to get. So take it in your body, for instance. In your body, if you are not fact-checking yourself, not fat, not F-A-T, fact-checking yourself, F-A-C-T, fact-checking yourself, this is where I'm at. There's no way that you can logically launch a plan of where you want to go. Because in your reality, if you cannot get real, if you cannot tell the truth of where you are at today, everything that you launch is based on a lie. You see, everything that you would talk about of where you want to go is based on a false reality. Think about that. Everything that you actually are today, if you're not telling the truth about that and getting back to the facts of that, you're launching lies of where you want to go. Because it's like almost you don't even know the reality. So you're launching this unknown reality based on a reality that you're not even close or intimate with. And so the concept of today is, in order to launch into this new reality that you want, you got to first become real with the facts of where you are. And so take it in body. Oftentimes people launch into a fitness routine, this is what I want in my body, without even knowing where their body's at. You've done it, I've done it. We jump on a scale and go, oh shit, something's happened to me and I need to make a change. And so we launch into this new reality, or false reality, if you will, of exercise and trying to eat better, not even knowing where we were at, not even having all the metrics, not even having all the basics of this. I love the fact when people are like, oh my gosh, on the scale, I'm up 4 pounds. I'm like, you know what? That could be water. That could be dehydration. It could be your body going through a sickness. Just get off the scale. It could be you adding a ton of muscle. because you've been hitting the gym and you're gaining like muscle mass and making some phenomenal changes that are going to impact you here in the future, but you don't know the reality of where you were at. So what you're launching into is a world of chaos versus actually doing some things that would allow you to see that at a different level. You get the metrics, like what we do in our office, a bioelectrical impedance analysis, which allows you to see the breakdown of lean, dense muscle tissue, fat tissue, water. You see where that water is, literally inside the cell, outside the cell. And you're taking a more involved and intimate look at that. You see, it's the same thing with relationships, whether it's a relationship with your significant other or kids, those of you who have kids. It's like we want to launch into this reality of I want to have better connections and I want to be more involved in these aspects, but not actually owning where you're at. Not owning how and why you're disconnected right now. The patterns that you are actually exhibiting. So we want to change, but we don't want to see where we're at. And in order to actually make the change and get over the obstacle that sits in our way, there has to be an ownership of our our current reality. And you look at, and it's hard. You look at it, oftentimes you're looking at it, if you take a critical look, oftentimes we take a critical look and then just shy away from it. It's like almost too painful. It's almost too painful if you look at the reality of it. I have people in my life that review statistics for our office. Oftentimes, I want to go over these statistics with a box of Kleenex on an empty stomach because I'm like, oh my gosh, that hurts. It hurts. What happened? And to me, what hurts me the most is when we see people drop off care and disappear. I'm like, what happened? Where did we miss the mark with these people? But you see the statistics and where we look at the reality of what we do and the services we provide, the value that we pour into these people are nothing more than just a reflection of how we're doing. And we could take that and look at the reality of that and attempt to make some changes. And every week and every month I do this. But you see, in your own worlds, you could actually start to look at that reality and start to get nauseous and turn away from it. And I've done this before too. It's like, I have this feeling of what it is. So because I feel this way, I don't even want to look at it. In fact, I'm not going to look at it. Nope, we're just going to move on. I know it's really, really bad. So I don't even want to look at it. But see, there's that possibility doesn't exist to launch into something new or something bigger or something in growth and expansion unless we actually come to terms with our current reality. So in a relationship, you have to come to terms with your current reality of what you've jacked up, what you've actually screwed up. And be honest with the people around you and say, hey, this is how I've showed up in this relationship. And I'm owning this for the first time. No sorries, but I'm owning it. I'm owning how I am to be able to get through that obstacle and the mindset and the skill set that brought me to this point so I can actually create a new possibility. And I'm going to create this new reality for us in this relationship, but I first had to come to terms with where I'm at. Do you see how that works? It's the same thing in your bank account. Your bank account is a direct reflection of what your interests are and your spending habits. Literally, it's a direct reflection of where you are putting your interests. If you have lots of shoes that cost money, that's where your interest is. It's not good or bad if that's what you want. But if you want more money, more savings, more travel, more whatever opportunity to be able to invest in all these types of things, you have to actually look at your bank account and become and get with the reality of where you're at. And sometimes it sucks. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that I'm spending this much money on that. Why would I spend that much money on that? And then you become okay with the reality because it is the reality. They're just numbers. They don't lie. It's not like your bank account's set up to lie to you. It's not a person. It's not anything more than just a number that's telling you where you're at. But all of a sudden you become aware of this reality. literally to set a new course and move in a direction where you can get over that obstacle and launch into a new way of being. You see, if we cannot come to terms with the reality of what is or where you're at today, you can never actually define who you want to become. And these are in the simplicities of it. It's in your body. It's in your relationships with your significant other and your kids. It's in your connections, spirituality, and it's in your bank account. They're direct results of what you are doing. And you business owners, it's in your business. How much value you're bringing to your person. So what I have you consider today is a two-step process. One is don't go to where you want to go. Back up and see where you're at. Come to terms with the reality of where you're at today so you can actually set a logical, truthful plan of where you want to go. It's human nature to lie. It's human nature to actually not tell the truths of the reality of where we're at. Okay? Well, you may say, well, that's not necessarily lying. If we omit things, that is a version of lying. And it's like, he just won't tell somebody about that. And because I don't tell it, I'm not actually lying. I'll just leave it there, kind of hidden, buried. Okay? But versus actually peeling back the layers. Once heard it said, when the tide goes out, what is there? What's left over? So when the tide goes up, what's left over in your relationship? When the tide goes out, what's left over in your body? Where are you at? When you stand naked in front of the mirror, if you're not happy with it, you need to get to the reality of what you are doing to create that body right now. Your habits, your skills, your mindset. I know for me, I have limited myself and my ultimate potential of actually changing my body. Even this, and I can tell you it's just this last 5 pounds. I want to get to this point, but I'll limit it because I'm like, oh, that's good enough. I got a great workout, it's good enough. My nutrition, that's just good enough. All right, but good enough holds me back. And if I can't get to the reality of the fact that I am settling for just good enough, then I can never get to that great and expand the possibility for what my body can do. Our bodies are like Ferraris. They're designed to be opened up, full throttle, just see what they can do. But we hold them out. Same thing in a relationship. Intimacy can be at the highest levels possible. But if you do not look at the reality of your relationship as it sits today and figure out who you are showing up in that relationship, you're never going to expand the possibility of that intimacy at the highest level that you possibly could. So the challenge is today is get real with where you're at so you can expand the possibility of where you want to go. But you first have to go and get real. Get real. So take a moment, write some stuff down. Where are you at with your body? Where are you at with your connections with God? Where are you at with your relationships? Where are you at with your bank account, your business, or your workplace? And be real. Nobody else has to see it. You should share it with somebody, but nobody else has to see it. This is getting real for you. For you to expand the possibilities of like, okay, here I'm at. So phase 2 is once you've got that reality, then you have a stronghold of like, okay, this is how I'm showing up and this is how I can make a change because I've identified the things that don't work that got me into the situation where I'm at. And so those things have to be moved and I have to make changes in these areas. And now I can really actually look at where I want to go. And isn't that what we're all here for? Is to move and expand and grow and see change in a healthy way? To move you from surviving the day, just getting through the day, people, and moving to thriving. That's all I got for you. Do the work today. Do this work today. Take a moment, just 5 minutes to sit and contemplate of where you're at and come to the reality so you can go to where you want to go. We'll talk to you tomorrow.